Welcome back everyone to Sylvia from Aussie Scrapper, and today I'm participating in a challenge your stash hop for the month of June. The links to the other ladies are down below, and the challenge was to use some sequins, and they're the ones I chose, and we had to use some doilies, and they're the ones I chose, and then any kind of paint, so they're the ones I think I'm going to use. So this paper that I will be using is from the last Love Always collection, and it's called Frolic, and it's my last paper left in this collection. I'm just so sad. Anyway, moving along, these photos are of my mother-in-law taking a lovely stroll in the front yard with my little girl. And I do cut all three photos to a 3 inches by 3 inches size, I just thought it just looked nicer. Personal choice, really. I'm getting desperate now, and these are all my scraps from my Love Always collection, and I will try and use as much of it as I can on this layout. So I just try and work out how I want to mat these photos. And in the end, I land up choosing some plain white cardstock. Oh, there's a plain white cardstock, and I round the edges of my photo, which seems to be my favorite thing at the moment. And I'll just use some double-sided tape to adhere my photos down. Once I have all three photos cut out, I'm using a Memento's dye ink, and it's called Pistachio, just to ink around all the edges of my photos. And I do this to all three photos. I love this collection so much that I'm not letting any of it go to waste. So you see me here matting the photos for a second time with some leftover pink patterned paper from the collection. And because on this layout I want all my three photos to be exactly the same and the mats to be exactly the same, I am using, to help with precision, my perfect layers ruler that I got from Crafts Online. And this is just going to help me to speed up the process, and because I'm a bit lazy, I don't have to measure using these rulers. I believe there's 3 sets in a ruler, in 3 rulers in a set, sorry. And yeah, they're all different sizes so that you can get different size mats. Anyway, I love this ruler for whenever I want to be precise. And of course, for cohesion, I do round the corners on all my mats. And I will be inking it with the Memento's dye ink in the pistachio color, of course, which goes really well with this collection. And with this layout, just the color of it was really nice, which is really hard to see on this video, the color, because it was only slight. And then, well, another piece of leftover scrappy patterned paper. Gosh, what am I trying to say? Can't talk today. And I'm just bringing in now some other elements from this collection to see how I'm going to embellish this layout. This is where I fall in love with this frame from the chipboard collection there, and it's just perfect. So what I'll end up doing is I take off that third mat because it makes the whole thing too bulky, and I stick on this lovely green frame. Absolutely love it. Then I play around with other chipboard pieces, but none of them make it onto the layout. But what does make it onto the layout are these puffy stickers from the collection, which should appear very soon. And there they are. And I just love these puffy stickers. And I land up using 3, and cascading down, I put them on the left-hand corners. And the first one says, love this. And the second one says, special. And the third one says, moment. So it reads, love this special moment. And I have no idea where these stickers came from, but they were absolutely perfect. And I end up using them. It says moments. And then I go in with the accessory stickers, and I just start looking for some words to add as embellishments. I ink the edges of all my word stickers with the pistachio mementos dye ink. And the first one on that very first top photo says good times. The second one for the middle photo says remember this. And the third photo, it says so sweet. And it was a very sweet moment where my daughter was walking with her granny in our front yard. So I'm pulling in the flowers that I made for a previous layout, and the pink paper is from this collection, the pink pattern paper. And I need a third flower, so I find it in my little stash there where I keep all my die cuts that I make on my silhouette. And I pick a smaller flower. And because part of the challenge is to use some sequence or bling, I'm using some bling. So I get these dots, enamel dots, they're actually from the collection, and I put them in the center. So bling is now ticked off. And that third flower wasn't actually, oh, would you say matted? So I'm just going in now and with some glue, and I don't make you watch this whole process. All I do is I glue it down to the paper and then I fussy cut around it. I really like how this layout came together in the end. I was really, really happy with it. There's my flower, all done. So I just play around with placement for a little while, work out how I want to add it. I put the little center bling in before I forget. There I go. Put in the center bling. And I'm thinking about matting it here. So I will be matting my layout, and I'm just hollowing the inside so that I can use the paper for a future project, I should say. And I trim my pattern paper down as well, just a little bit on two sides so that you can see the match in the end. I'm just going to start gluing everything down now. So I start by adhering my pattern paper to my cardstock mat, and then I will start gluing the photos to the doilies. So what I'm going to do, just to speed up this video and so that you're not bored as I'm gluing down photos to doilies, I will skip to the end of this bit. My photos are now attached to their doilies, and I decide I want to do some mixed media. So I'm adding some clear gesso to the page. It's actually called a clear glaze medium, but I call it clear gesso, and I'm using that to protect my page from all the watercoloring that I'm going to be doing. And a quick blast with the heat gun. Now these paints are from Spotlight. They're like a shimmery type paint, and that was part of the challenge, was to use paints. So I've gone with watercolor paints. And I start off with the packaging technique, and I don't really like that color too much. It's just not working how I envisioned it in my head. So I do end up using these, what are they called? They're called Derivan, and I hope that's how you pronounce it. And they're made in Australia. I buy them at Spotlight, and they're professional artist grade watercolor, and I absolutely love them. So I just add some water, mix it all in, and the colors I'm using are phthalo green and titanium white. So I've got quite a lot there on that packaging. I guess what I should have done is mixed it in a little dish or something on the side, but I didn't. Live and learn. So I go in, I apply it, and then I pick it up with a baby wipe, a moist baby wipe. And this part of the layout is what takes me the longest because I keep going backwards and forwards. I take paint on, I put it on, I take it off, I put it on, and I just keep going backwards and forwards till I'm happy with the final outcome. It does look like a big mess, but in the end, it really does look nice once all the embellishments and the photos and everything's stuck down. Trust me. It is very messy work, but I really enjoy getting messy, so win-win. I just want to add a bit of contrast here. So what I'm doing is I'm using the phthalo green again, but I'm not mixing it with anything. I'm just going straight in with the packaging technique, and then Blending it in with a baby wipe and just picking up some of that extra color. Then I go in with my fingers and I smooch it. Is smooching a word? Anyway, that's what I do. And yes, I've got my photos down again, and wherever I think it needs a hint of color, I just go in with my finger and blend it all in as best as I can. So sticking it all down, and I had issues with the tape runner only because of the oh, the mixed media. Oh, sorry, I can't think now. It's getting late here in Australia. So I'm using my heavy gel medium to adhere it all down and to make sure it stays glued down. So playing with my embellishments again, and these stickers. I've got no idea where they came from, but I'm going to stick them down on this piece of cardboard that I painted with those shimmery paints that you saw earlier from Spotlight. So I glue it all. I just stick those down. I don't glue it down because they're actually stickers. So I stick them down, and I actually didn't show you this on camera when I painted the cardstock, but I think you know how to do it. Just some strokes with the paintbrush. And yes, I fussy cut them out, and I'm now trying to get the placement of my title. In the end, the title ends up being just memories, and that bit that says fun, I play around with it, and I'm being stubborn. I want to stick it down, but in the end, it just does not make it onto this layout. I want to add some journaling to my layout, so I decided to use these kaisercraft stamps, and they are called All That Glitters. And I like this rectangular type, I don't know, would you call it a tag? I'm not sure. Anyway, whatever it's called. And I go in with my Rangers Archival ink, and the color is Paradise Teal. I don't land up quite liking that color. I'm not sure why. It was too bright or something, or not the right shade. Can't remember. So because I was being lazy, I then go in with the coffee colour straight over the top, and I was lucky. I loved the effect that that had. The two colours just mixed in perfectly. Anyway, I'm painting it now with the shimmery paints from Spotlight that I've been using. Give it a quick blow with the heat gun, and a quick dry, not a quick blow, a quick dry with the heat gun. And I just cut them out, and I mat it on some pink patterned paper, the same that I used to mat the photos. I add my journaling, and this layout is nearly finished. Now there I am with that fun sticker tag, whatever, and I'm being stubborn with it, but in the end I just put it to the side and go, that's it, it's not going to make it to the layout. So I'm sticking down my flowers, arranging them as best as I can, or till I'm happy with them anyway. And look at my messy, dirty fingers. Oh yes, I forgot about this. I found these little sequence flowers in Spotlight. They were in the sewing section, but I said, too bad, they're now going into my crafting room. I don't have to use it for sewing. I wanted to use it on my scrapbooking. So I'm just scattering them throughout the layout, and then I will glue them down. But you're lucky. I don't make you watch me gluing down every little sequence. I only do a few so that you know that I did do it. And then I move on. So I'm sticking down my title now, just using some Scotch tacky glue, and this is a close to my heart glitter pen, and I'm just using it to add a bit of glitter to those flowers. Nice finishing touch to everything. And I was really happy with how this layout turned out. I absolutely loved the colours. It was not what I envisioned when I started, but I was happy with the end result. And here are some close-ups. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you all for watching, to thank all my subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you. And if you like what you see and you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you did, if you do like my videos and you want to see some more. Anyway, till next time, have a good night. Well, night, day, depending on what part of the world you're in. All right, see you later.